Alrighty, so we are recording. Thank you for bearing with us. It wasn't letting us log in for a while there, but we are going to get into some of the nitty gritty on Pinterest. I know Caitlin and me, we took a Pinterest little crash course and we got really hyped up about Pinterest and the potential it can give our business with minimal work. We're talking, this is only going to add like an hour at the most to what you have to do for the week, and it's going to be enough content to last you the entire week. So it's not going to be, you know, oh, I have to make my Facebook post, I have to make an Instagram post, and now I have to create Pinterest pins. It's using the exact same material you're putting out on Facebook and Instagram. You're just taking an hour to set it all up, and you can program it to post for you. So you're not even having to go to Pinterest every day. You just one day a week, set it all up, and you're good. So I'm going to start sharing it. We're going to kind of do a Pinterest 101 and go over some of the basics. And then Caitlin's going to walk you through making a pin and what that actually looks like. I don't know if you guys are a visual learner. I know I am a huge visual learner. And so I like being able to see step by step someone else doing it. So we're going to do that for you guys as well. And then next, sorry, my son's chewing my arm. Next week, we are going to go into more of how to get people to see your pins, how to really create that traction for you guys. So I am going to pop Pinterest up on my screen. Alrighty, so this is kind of my profile. You guys know we have our own Facebook profile. We have our own Instagram profiles. This is what it looks like. I have the business profile as well. You can do a personal one. I'm just trying out the business one for now. Like Facebook and Instagram, you have a little bio. I have my same profile picture that I have for my Facebook and Instagram. Once again, I want people, when they find my name, they know it's me because it's the same profile picture across all social media platforms. And my bio is the exact same as well. I'm just messing with Pinterest right now. So I do have my Labelle website. I'm going to change that to a sample website in a little bit. So what is Pinterest? You guys don't know, Pinterest is not social media, but we're talking about it on our social media Zoom. Pinterest is a search engine, kind of like Google, Go.go, whatever, Safari. You type stuff in to search for it, and Pinterest brings up results of things that people have created pins for. And so instead of like a website like Google would pull up if you were to search, you know, brownie recipes, Pinterest will pull up pins that people have created within that. So it's not social media. You don't have to grow this following of people because people are going to be searching for content, and Pinterest is going to share that with them, whether they follow you or not. Look at my followers right here. I have 2 followers, and one of them is my other personal account. So I only have 1 real follower, but look at how many people have viewed my pins just in the last 30 days. 762 people.
Hey, Mandy, waiting room. It's not showing me then.
Okay. Do I have to stop screen sharing then?
If you click on Caitlin's picture and make her a co-host, she can watch the waiting room for you.
There, did that work?
Okay. Yep, I'm good.
All right, thank you. So 762 individual accounts have viewed my pins just in the last 30 days. So don't use the excuse, oh, I don't have anyone following me. That's okay. You don't need people following you to get your stuff viewed. That takes off so much pressure. How much time do we work on, you know, building those relationships and networking on Facebook and Instagram just so they see our content? This takes away that step. Sure, once they see your stuff, they're probably going to follow you if they relate to your stuff. But the whole thing, guys, is that they're going to be seeing your content, whether they follow you or not. I don't know. That got me really excited. Another thing that's awesome is Facebook and Instagram. They want you to create content that keeps people on the app, right? They don't want you sharing links to things because that takes them off the app. Pinterest, the whole purpose of Pinterest is to connect people with outer resources that take them off of Pinterest. Pinterest wants you to get people off of Pinterest. How awesome is that? If you write an amazing Facebook post, you can share it to Pinterest, and Pinterest is going to reward you for people leaving Pinterest to go see that Facebook post. If you have a blog and you're sharing about stuff on your blog, Pinterest is going to reward you for people getting off of Pinterest and going and clicking your blog. If you have a very compelling Thrive story on your Pinterest and people click off of that to go look at your Thrive website, Pinterest is going to reward you. The whole purpose is to connect the searcher with their answers and hopefully make it a good experience so people use Pinterest as their search engine. So you reach not just followers. Trying to look at my notes real quick. Alrighty, so let's go into pins. There are 3 different types of pins that you can make. One, we're going to start off with a really easy one. We're very familiar with it, and that is story pins. Now, you do have to request to be able to create story pins. Not every account can just start creating stories. It's a new feature on Pinterest, so you just click that you would like that feature, and it gives you like 24 hours sometimes to update your account, but I haven't heard of anyone not being allowed to have that feature. So definitely ask for that when you are setting up your Pinterest account or if you're working on yours. But it's a story pin. It's just like we do our stories on Facebook and Instagram. It's more of that bigger rectangular view that takes up your whole screen. It stays on the little story bubbles for 24 hours like the other ones, but it doesn't delete it after 24 hours. It gets stored as a regular pin on your board. So you know how, let's say on Facebook and Instagram, how you share a post that you create to your stories and it's there in your stories for 24 hours, but then, you know, your post is still your post. It's kind of like that. So I'll show you a few. I've been putting my 3 steps in there. As you can see, it looks kind of like a story, but they're saved. They're saved down here. So the second category of pins where these stories kind of fall onto is created pins that you go into Pinterest and you create them. So my stories, they're story pins, but they're also created pins because they're saved after the 24 hours. Here are some of my other pins. You guys, I haven't been super fancy with this. I'm just kind of sharing my content that I create on Instagram and Facebook and making them pins. Okay. And then we have saved. Now, I shared a little bit about the saved option back when I was first starting to play with it. And that is when you go to Instagram and you go to share your post, you can share it to Pinterest. Okay, it just creates a pin automatically for you as a share. So an example of this, I have some things on motherhood is right here. I did not technically create this pin. I shared it right from my Instagram. It shows the Instagram stuff. I didn't write any of this out. If I were to click this, it takes me right to my Instagram post. You guys, all I did was click share to Pinterest and it created a pin for me, did all the work. Now it doesn't count as my own created pin. It's just saved from another source, but people are still seeing it. People are still clicking it and then they're being put into my Instagram. If they see your Instagram post, they'll become your follower. And then when we're doing RCMs, you're going to be able to connect with them. Do you see how easy it is to grow your network from Pinterest without putting in the work? You know, people are coming and seeing you and following you. You're not having to go and search through the hashtags, search through the locations, search in groups. People are going to be able to come find you based on your content. It's okay, Bug. Let's see. So that's that. And then one last thing. So these are all little pins and they're saved on boards. If you've used Pinterest before, you're familiar with this, but boards is basically, think of it like a file folder and you're putting all of your pins in a file folder on your computer. This is kind of Pinterest thing. You're pinning stuff to a board. So you can have different categories. I have motherhood. Like I said, I'm new. I'm still starting out. I'm still working on this. Life-changing opportunity. I've been putting like opportunity posts in there. So that's kind of the 101 information on Pinterest. And now Caitlin's going to go ahead. I'm going to switch this over So she's the host, and she's gonna walk you through step by step how to create a pin from scratch, not sharing it from your Facebook or Instagram, but how to take that same content or other content that you'd like to create a pin and do that. So 1 second.
All right, can you guys see? Yeah, okay. So I have had my Pinterest like a bajillion years, and I'm sure a lot of you probably also have. So I recently switched mine to a business account, and I obviously have already had followers. I've literally had this thing since high school. So I've been working on cleaning up mine, but these are 2 pins that I've recreated, or not recreated. They're Facebook posts that I've recreated into pins. So I use Canva for my pins. It's super easy. Hey. Sorry, y'all. Now my internet's going to be slow. Bear with me. So when you go to Canva, it's super easy to even take graphics that you've made from like that you've put for Facebook or for Instagram or your stories. It's super easy to literally take that picture and reformat it to a pin. You don't have to start over from scratch if you already have one created. You totally can, but you can save yourself some time too and not do that. I don't know why my internet's being funky. You can go in if it ever switches over to Canva, and you'll create a new design for I think it's just a Pinterest pin. And then you can make one pin, one post, 10 different pins. If that, I know, mind blowing. One piece of content can be 10 different pins. You don't have to mind boggle yourself like you do on Facebook and Instagram to, I don't know, feel like you're saying the same thing a bajillion times. You don't have to do that on Pinterest. Okay, let's see if it'll cooperate with me now. Okay, so this is my home screen. I haven't gone anywhere. I literally just opened Canva. You're gonna go to create a design, and then you can scroll and look for it, or you can just type pin, Pinterest, whatever, and it will open there. If it decides to open. Shh. Sorry, guys. So you can choose from all of the templates. There's a bajillion templates. So let's say we'll use a template first because they're prettier than my brain works. You can switch out, Courtney has gone through these things, so you can switch out all of these things from the template and add in whatever you want to do. So we can say like, I don't know. We can say, okay, I don't know what just happened. 3 steps that, no. We'll say, I don't know, 3 simple steps for the best mental clarity. I don't know. Something simple. And then you can add a stock image, or you can add a personal image that you've uploaded. We'll just do mental health. They have another bajillion stock photos of all types of different things. Let's see, let's not use that. We'll say we're happy when we have mental clarity. So we'll do a happy one. This is a cute one. I'm just going to delete that. I'm putting see the steps here. And then you don't have to put a website or anything. I'm going to take that one off. And then there's a pin done. Super easy, super simple. You don't have to get all crazy with them. And then to repurpose that. So the way Pinterest works is they look at the pin itself. They don't really look at the link that is connected to that pin. They look more at the picture because that's what we're seeing. So that's how you can take one post and make it into 10 different pins. You just take the one that you already created. You can literally swap out this stock photo for like a Thrive picture or a picture of you, and it'll count as a new pin. So you don't have to get super crazy with them. It's not complicated. You can literally do these in an hour and be good for, I think Pinterest lets you schedule out 2 weeks in advance or 10 days. And you can schedule them all to go out from the same post. Mandy, do you want to add?
Yeah, so the algorithm on Pinterest, I'm still learning the nitty gritty about the algorithm, but I do know it is very, very simple to where one post a day consistently will boost your algorithm. That's all that really is required. So if you take one really good Instagram post, Facebook post, turn it into 10 pins, that's 10 days worth of content that you've already created for your Facebook or Instagram. And the life or the lifespan of a pin is years. When you post something on Instagram and Facebook, people will see it, you know, when they're on, and it might last a day. If it's really good, it might last a whole week where people are still interacting on it. But then, you know, nobody's going to really scroll back to what Caitlin wrote in 2018, even though it might have been an amazing post. You guys, there's pins that are still trending that were written years ago, because remember, it's not social media, it's a search engine. If people are still searching for mental health, clarity, energy, and you have a really good pin, it's going to pull that pin up because it was an amazing pin that helped people, that connected people to a resource. You want to create, like she said, click here for this. Remember, the goal of Pinterest is to connect people with a resource. It wants you to get them off. So have a call to action on your pins or in the description when you're creating your pin, because if people leave Pinterest to go look at whatever you're talking about, that makes it good, and that'll prolong the lifespan of it. And like she said, you can repurpose it. Can you pull up that pin again real quick?
Yep.
I wrote down in the crash course, we did 10 different ideas. Okay. So 3 simple steps. Or making a pin, you know, this is probably going to be linked to her personal story about the best mental clarity. She could post a picture, a before and after picture of her, and caption it, you know, how an exhausted mom went from before and after, and create a pin. Like she said, it's only a different graphic that is different, that makes it different. It's still the same content. It can still be the same wording. It's the exact same link, but Pinterest counts it as brand new content because it has a different picture. It's all based on the picture. So I just want to read through 10 different ideas for repurposing the same content. Okay, I'll try to go somewhat slow for you guys to write down. So 10 unique graphics. Number 1 is you're going to post your title, your call of action with a photo of you, like Caitlin mentioned. You can post the title with a plain background, just do something fun. It doesn't even have to have a picture on it, although picture pins do tend to be better because, oh, hi, that's me. Sorry. 3, title with a call to action. Number 4, title with a call to action to a specific audience. So just instead of click here, put in, if you're an exhausted mama, click here. If you're a drained college student, click here. If you're feeling overwhelmed, click here. Make it very specific, because when people are searching, if they use those keywords, college student, overwhelmed, it's going to pop up in a result. A title and then like a little subtitle. Can do that. And then target your specific audiences, and you can do that 1, 2 different times. This is where your branding is going to come in. You can put a quote from the post that it's connecting you to. So she was talking about mental clarity. If she was telling her story, she could take, you know, 1 or 2 sentences that were really meaningful and put it as a graphic. Okay. Do that with a couple different quotes. That's 8 and 9. And then number 10 is an infographic or bulleted list. So she put 3 simple steps, list those steps right there. 10 different ways, guys. And it's so simple. Like she just created one cover. And like we said, you're already creating the meat of the content, the actual post already. We're doing that every single day. Pick your best one, create 10 pins from it, schedule them out, take maybe about an hour on Sunday or whenever you do your planning, and then you're going to be good for the week. So that's what we have for tonight. Caitlin, did you have anything else that you wanted to add in?
So the one that I did, one of the ones I did, I literally took it directly to a post that I made on Facebook. So not just to my profile. I clicked on the post that I wanted to go to. I did a gut health one. I clicked on that post that I made on Facebook from like, I don't know, the beginning of April, and put that specific post link into the pin, like when I uploaded it in the pin. So it's going to take people directly to that post. That's what we mean whenever we're like, it's going to take you off of Pinterest. It's not going to just take them to their profile. So then they're going to see everything. It's literally going to take them to whatever post you're on or whatever post you wanted them to see. You can also put your Lavelle link. You can also put your Thrive sample link if you've gotten it. That's also really good things like, you know, here's how I got my, I don't know, went from exhausted to playing with the kids, and put your sample link in there. They can read the testimonials. They can read all the things that Lavelle has already done for us. Sorry if y'all hear Weston's truck. So think smarter, not harder. Pinterest is super easy whenever you get the hang of it. And if you have a creative eye, it's even easier.
Yeah. Can you make me host for a second? I'm going to show you guys an example of something I made that was not Thrive related. So we have our 5s list, the 5 brands about us. And you guys know that I'm a mom and I post a lot about being a mom. So let me, oh, hi. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay. You guys can see that. Okay. So I made a post back in April. April was C-section awareness month. And I posted about how, for me, it was pretty traumatizing and some things I wish I would have knew ahead of time. So here's an example. I just put a picture of this. This was my Instagram post. But 5 things you don't know about cesarean birth. And then that's the title. And then I put emergency C-section. Those words echoed in my ears as I was rushed to the operating room. Here are 5 things I was unprepared for. Want to do something to where they're going to click it. And like she said, it doesn't just take you to my Instagram. It'll take you to the actual post. Here's 1, here's 2. And then, like we said, repurposing that content. I could make a graphic with those 5 things and just put them all right there. Or I could do a little summary, click here to hear my story. Think outside the box. It doesn't have to be all just Thrive related pins. Pull stuff from your brand. Okay, because that'll also draw people into your network. And like we said, we're not having to do the networking here. We're just providing the content and people are going to be brought in to our network. I wanted to make sure I opened this up for questions. I know this is going to be new for a lot of us. I know Caitlin has been a huge help with stuff. She has a little bit more experience than I do with this. So I'm learning this kind of as I go with you guys. Jenna Kutcher, I think that's how you say your name. She was the one that did like a very quick crash course, you guys. She talked so fast. I could not take notes fast enough. It's okay. It's okay. So if you want to look at her website or her Pinterest or her Instagram, she has a lot of free resources on there if you're wanting to dig a little deeper as well. But me and Caitlin, we are still learning and we're going to share a lot more with you guys as well. But if anyone has any questions, Feel free to unmute yourself or drop it in the chat. All righty. Well, I hope you guys have a great night and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.